Hey there, this is part one of a three-part Glock series that I decided to try my hand at. So part one, as you saw in the description, is polishing the feed ramp. Not sure if you've noticed, I have, and so has a lot of other people, but the feed ramp on a lot of modern firearms is when they grind down the feed ramp. They do a pretty good job at the manufacturer level of getting it fairly smooth, but if you look really closely, you can see the tooling marks and the striations going horizontally across the feed ramp. So what today's video is about is removing those. And by removing those tooling marks and getting a really nice polished surface, almost mirror-like, highly polished surface, you eliminate and mitigate any failure to feed issues that you may have that are directly related to a dirty feed ramp. I've seen it in other firearms that I've had prior to doing the polish job on the feed ramp, especially on the 45. The 45, I actually eliminated a failure to feed issue with hollow points. 45s are fairly notorious out of the box from the manufacturer for having failure to feed issues with hollow point ammo, but not ball ammo. And it's directly correlated to the shape of the tip of the bullet. By polishing the feed ramp and polishing the throat of the chamber up top, you can almost completely eliminate any failure to feed having to do with a dirty feed ramp or a dirty chamber. That's what we're going to do today to the Glock. We're going to do the feed ramp. I'm going to be using a Dremel with a small polishing wheel on it. You don't need to use that for the feed ramp. You can just use a polishing cloth and some Flitz polishing compound, or any other any other high polish or high gloss polishing compound like Mother's or any other high gloss wheel polishing compound. Today I'm using some really inexpensive Task Force high gloss polishing compound number 5. Comes in a stick inside that little container, and this is it here. It's just a stick of green polishing compound, and I'm going to rotate the Dremel up to speed and just dab it on there a little bit and then apply it. So at any rate, again, this is part one, just polishing the feed ramp, and you'll see that whole process. And I'm going to roll in a picture that I took, a really nice close-up picture that shows those striations on the feed ramp. And then I'll show you, I'll roll in at the end a nice still picture of the end result. But you should be able to see that when I switch cameras here. Part two is sticking with the polishing compound. We're going to do the poor man's trigger job on this Glock 23 that I picked up last summer. I haven't made any modifications to it. Still has the Glock sights on it. Actually, I take that back. I did make a modification on it, and as you've seen in my previous videos, or in one of my previous videos, I did a paint job. And this particular Glock has really narrow lines on it, so I'm not even sure if that can even be picked up on. Let's see if we can get it in there. Yep, there we go. So so I did that, and then over here on the other side, on the back, you can see the small, it's trying to pick up my face. Yep, there we go. All right, yeah, so anyway, so I did the paint job to this, and it looks kind of cool. So we're going to do the feed ramp today. Part two is going to be the poor man's trigger job, which we're going to take out all of the internals, and I'll show you how to do that. And we're going to polish all of the metal on metal rubbing areas, and that's going to give us a smooth as silk trigger, all the way from the beginning of the trigger pull all the way to where it breaks. And that's not a field strip. That's a detailed strip of all the internal parts of the trigger, as well as we're going to pull out the striker, or the firing pin, as some of you, it's actually called a striker, but some of you refer to it as the firing pin. So I'll show you how to do that in part 2. And in part 3, I'm going to delve into stippling this Glock. It'll be my first stippling job. I've practiced on a couple of other pieces of nylon, plasticky things, and it worked out pretty well. Didn't do a really huge area, did about 1 square inch, and it felt pretty good. And I've seen other people do it on here on YouTube, and I want to try my hand at it, and I'll show you guys the process and the results in the meantime. We'll have a little bit of fun with it. So I'm really looking forward to doing this series, and I hope you are too. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras, and we'll start breaking this thing down, and we'll get to it. Anyway, see you guys at the end. And as you can see, it doesn't take a whole lot to get some polishing going on. That's just a little bit. You can start to see striations. Look at how polished that is now. Almost completely smooth. You can still see a little bit of the striations there, but it's pretty smooth. And we're almost done. Just one more hit with it, and we'll try the top of the chamber too. Okay, we're back. That wasn't so bad. It took me about maybe 8, 9, 10 minutes to polish up the feed ramp, and I tell you, it's night and day. As a matter of fact, rolling in the pictures now of the before, you could clearly see, even when I held it up to the camera right before polishing it, you could clearly see all the striations on the feed ramp. And then just, really about 5 minutes of polishing that feed ramp, and this is the result. So at any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and just put them in down at the bottom here. And if you like the video, please click on the like button and subscribe. Viewership helps, and look out for part 2 coming up soon. That should be in the next week or so. I'm going to do that, part 2, doing the trigger job. So at any rate, that's about it, and good luck, and shoot straight, keep them in the 10 ring, and I'll see you guys the next time. Take care for now.